Isang mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat and welcome to our lesson for today, which is the gurus of total quality management. So in this topic, now we're going to talk about people behind modern quality management. No, sila yung mga tao na malaki yung ambag in terms of improving the quality management. No, sila ang mga nagbigay ng iba't ibang principles, philosophies, and even diagram, no, para ma-improve ang way of our quality management. Okay? So before we start, I have a question. Why do companies fail or disappear? No, you may pause the video recorded, no, or itong video na ito, no, and isipin ninyo, kahit hindi kayo mag-base dito sa nakabullet sa inyong mga screen, sa tingin nyo, bakit nagfi-fail or bigla na lang nagsasara ang iba't ibang company? Okay? And I hope, no, ito yung magiging magsisilbing parang tag dito, pinaka-highlight na question. Kasi dito tayo magbe-based how the quality meets our customers. Kasi kung na-meet ng company or ng isang business ang quality and satisfaction of the customer, no, hindi sila mag-fail, hindi sila mawawala. Kasi ang total quality management ay hindi lamang po tungkol sa paggawa ng isang produkto. Ito po ay tungkol sa pagbibigay, as I said, ng value at satisfaction sa ating mga customers. So may mga tinatawag tayong TQM gurus, as I said, no, sila nagturo ng iba't ibang quality, no, saan dapat nakafocus, no, nakafocus ba sa continuous improvement, sa prevention ba ng iba't ibang defects, no, or di kaya naman teamwork sa organization. Sa madalit salita, mas maganda po na iwasan na natin yung mga problema, no, kaysa ayusin natin ito pag nadudoon na. Ano? Ngayon, as I said, doon tayo sa question, why do companies fail and disappear? Isa sa mga dahilan is poor product and service or service quality. Kasi ibig sabihin hindi nasasatisfy, hindi masaya ang customers nila. At kasama na rin doon yung inconsistent process. Ibig sabihin, hindi pare-pareho ang output ng trabaho. Nagkakaroon ng high defects, no, nagkakaroon ng madaming reworks, waste of time, waste of raw materials, no. At doon napapagastos ang company. At kapag hindi naalagaan ng quality, lumalabas ang customer dissatisfaction. At unti-unting umaalis ang mga customers. At tatandaan ninyo, kadalasan ay tahimik lang. Ika nga ni Mark, no? Tahimik na umaalis ang mga companies. Hindi sila nagsasabi. Kaya mahalaga na ang TQM, no, laging nakatutok sa improvement at sa paggawa ng tama mula sa simula. And why quality matters in our organization is to ensure that the customer satisfaction. Kasi ang quality, as I said, ito ang susi ng success and survival ng isang business. Ang quality po ay nakatulong para ma-ensure ang customer satisfaction. Kapag maganda ang produkto, maganda ang serbisyo, mas magiging loyal ang customer. Bumabalik sila. Second, no, it build trust and brand reputation. Bumubuo ka ng trust at magandang brand reputation. At kapag kilala ang isang company sa mataas na quality, mas madali itong piliin ng mga customer kumpara sa mga ibang competitors. Third one, it reduce cost and waste. No? At kapag tama ang paggawa natin sa una pa lang, no, mababawasan na yung pag-rework natin. Pagkawala ng defects, walang nasasayang na materials. Nang importante, no, ang iniisip natin is the production at yung engineering work, just like you as a drafting or kung ano mang major ang inyong hinahawak. Sa lahat ng field, no, lahat po yan ay merong quality. May quality standards. Fourth, it supports, I mean, it improves efficiency and productivity. No, dahil mas maayos ang proseso ng trabaho, mas madami ang nagagawa, mas nagiging efficient. Kaya tatandaan ninyo, sa organization, ang quality ay hindi gastos, kundi investment para sa future success. Okay? And as I said, it support long-term business survival. If you meet the standard of your customer, na-satisfy mo si customer, no, you build the trust, you build your reputation, no, walang na ako consider na waste. It supports long-term business survival. And in terms of the total quality management as the philosophy, no, meron tayong mga ito. At ang isang management philosophy, i-make sure na ang quality ay part ng buong organization. Hindi lang sila isang department, no, isang office. Ibig sabihin, they integrates quality sa lahat ng activities. Hindi lang ng department ng whole company. Mula sa planning, designing, production, hanggang sa service delivery. Si TQM kasi, ang importante, meron tayong continuous improvement. Na kung saan, lagi tayo naghahanap ng paraan para gawing mas maganda ang proseso at ang output. At isa pang mahalagang prinsipyo or principle ng TQM ay ang involvement ng everyone. Hindi lang managers, hindi lang supervisors, ang responsible sa quality, kundi pati frontline workers. At lahat may role. Pag-identify ng problems, pag-suggest ng solutions, at we need to prioritize the customer satisfaction. Yun yung main goal natin. Dahil ang customer, yan ang dahilan kung bakit may mga business. At kailangan siguraduhin natin na natutugunan natin ang kanilang mga expectations. At tatandaan ninyo, no, class, ang TQM ay hindi lamang tool, kundi isa siyang culture sa organization. Ibig sabihin, quality mindset, yan dapat ang pinapairal natin sa school, sa work, everyday doing, no? Lagi nating iisipin na we need to be right in the first time. At patuloy kumaga tayo ay continuously improving sa long-term success ng company. Okay? So, let's proceed with the TQM gurus. Sila yung mga expert na nagbigay ng huge contribution in terms of modern quality management. Sila nag-develop ng quality principles, quality systems na ginagamit ng mga organization para mas ma-improve pa yung process and their products. Halimbawa, no, sina Demings, no, siya yung nag-create ng PDCA cycle. Mamaya i-discuss din natin 'yan. Si Kaoru Ishikawa, yung fishbone and cause and effect diagram. Okay? So, proceed tayo kay Dr. Edward Demings. Si Dr. Edward Demings, known as the father of modern quality management. Dahil malaki yung naiambag niya sa development ng quality improvement system, naniniwala kasi siya na ang quality problems ay madalas na nanggagaling sa system, hindi sa workers. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi agad sinisisi ng manggagawa or hindi agad natin dapat isisi sa naggagawa or sa manufacturing employee natin kapag may mga error. Kundi, no, we are looking for the main root. Ano ang main root? Main root ng problem. It is the process. It is the management system. At isa sa pinakasikat na contribution ni Dr. Edward Demings is the PDCA cycle. No, ang ibig sabihin plan, do, check, act, cycle. Ginagamit itong cycle na ito, no, para sa continuous improvement ng bawat operations. No, meron din siyang 14 points of management, no, na ito yung naglalayong mas may effective in terms of leadership at organizational practices. No, siya din ang nag-develop ng theory of profound knowledge. No, ito namang kanyang contribution na ito, no, tumutulong ito sa mga managers, no, para mas maintindihan nila ang system thinking, no, different variations and knowledge. At syempre yung psychology sa workplace. No, dagdag mo na din diyan yung Deming chain reaction, no, na nagpapakita ng mga improvement ng quality, no, sa pagbaba ng cost, no, sa paglaki ng productivity, sa pagtaas ng market shares. And also, no, siya din ang contribute or siya din yung nakakita ng seven deadly diseases of management. At ang ideas ni Deming ay nagturo sa quality, kumbaga nagturo sa mga company na ang quality ay nakasalalay sa maayos na system, sa teamwork, at sa tuloy-tuloy na improvement. So tingnan natin si PDAC. Okay? P for identifying problems and plan solution. Dito nagsisimula ang lahat. We need to identify the problem. Huwag natin, kumbaga, basta-basta susugod nang wala tayong sandata. Ika nga ng iba, no? Kailangan nating alamin kung ano ba talaga yung issue. Ano yung target nating solution. And we need to set our goals to create a detailed roadmap. Second, two, once na ang plan na ay ah, nakuha na natin ng plan, identify na natin ng problems, we need to implement the solution on a small scale. Sir, bakit small scale lang? Para kung magkamali man, hindi masyadong masakit. Para lang siyang testing. May prototype phasing. Dito natin titingnan kung gagana ba yung idea natin in reality. Third one is we need to analyze the result. Ito yung moment of truth. Itinatanong na natin, nag-work ba yung plan natin? Nahit ba natin yung target? No, i-compare na natin yung actual data sa original goal para makita natin ang gaps. Next, we need to standardize successful solution. We need to act. Dito natin masasabi or dito tayo magde-decide kung very successful ba yung result. As I said, we need to standardize. Ibig sabihin, no, ito na yung bagong norm. At kapag may sablay, we adjust, we refine our plan. That's why it is a cycle. PDCA is a cycle na hindi lang siya natatapos kapag na-standardize mo na yung solution. Babalik ka ulit sa step 1. And that's why we call it continuous improvement, right? Next, One of the key ideas of Demings is focus on the long-term improvement. Hindi kasi siya naniniwala na get rich quick yung scheme. Ang goal dito is sustainable success. Imbes na maghahabol ka sa mabilisang profit or short-term profit, we look at the big picture para masigurado natin ang future ng company or ng business. Second, we need to eliminate the fear in the workplace. Napaka-importante nito kasi kapag takot ang employees na magkamali or magtanong, walang improvement na nangyayari. We need an environment where people feel safe to speak and innovate. Third one, train employees properly. Hindi sapat na marunong lang ang mga empleyado mo. Dapat they are properly equipped in everything, specifically sa ginagawa nila. Kasi you are investing. Nag-i-invest ka sa training to ensure that all your employees ay may correct skills intended for their work para tama at efficient ang kanilang ginagawa. Fourth one, we need to improve system continuously. Huwag tayong makontento sa pwede lang. Pwede na, okay na to. Parang si Mami Grace, ano? Dapat constant effort ang kailangan natin para mas maganda ang ating mga system, ang ating mga process. Okay? And lastly, leadership is essential for quality. Quality start at the top. Hindi lang ito basta-basta pag-uutos or let's say, gawin mo to, gawin mo yan. Leadership is a key. Leaders must lead by example and provide them the support needed para ma-achieve natin ang high quality standard. Remember, class, these key ideas of Demings are about changing the culture, not changing the numbers. Okay? Next. Next guru of total quality management is Philip Crosby or Crosby, kung ano man uh, ang basa ninyo. Pero as I heard, it is Philip Crosby. Okay? Si Philip Crosby, isa siya sa pinaka-influential in terms of quality management guru. Siya ay famous sa statement na quality is free. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Hindi niya sinasabing walang gastos ang quality. Ang point niya rito, mas mura ang paggawa ng tama from the start kaysa magbabayad ka sa mga pagkakamali mo. Kasi kapag merong defects, may reworks, may returns, may complaints, may nawawalang customer. Yun yung tinatawag nating price of non-conformance or PONC. At mas mahal pa yun kaysa prevention. At para kay Crosby, ang quality is equals to conformance to requirements. Ibig sabihin, hindi ito tungkol sa maganda lang, sa high-end lang. Quality means nasunod mo ang mga exact requirements or specification. If the product or service meets the requirements, then it is quality. Next, ang concept ng zero defects, hindi ito ibig sabihin na perfect ang isang tao. Perfect ang isang company. Ang ibig sabihin nito, ang standard natin ay walang defect. Hindi na okay na yan, okay na to, na mindset. Dito, we aim to do things right the first time. Kaya ang ine-emphasize niya rito, prevention over inspection. Mas importante ang pagde-design ng bawat process nang hindi nagkakamali kaysa mag inspect ka lang pag may nag-arise na mali. Okay? Meron din siyang four absolutes of quality kung saan very clear doon na dinefine niya kung ano yung quality, ano ang standard, no? At paano sinusukat or paano natin tinitingnan through the cost of non-conformance. And other philosophies and key concept made by Philip Crosby is the 14-step quality improvement program. Isa siyang structured approach para i-implement ang quality culture ng organization. At ang goal ni Crosby is you need to do it right the first time. Kasi kapag tama agad, mas mababa ang cost, mas satisfied ng customer at mas sustainable ang negosyo. Right? Next. Other gurus of total quality management is Dr. Joseph Huran. Okay? And one of his core concept is fitness for use. Ibig sabihin, ang product po or ang service, ang quality po ay talagang nagagamit. Hindi lang ng company, nagagamit siya ng customer ayon sa kanilang needs. Based on their needs. Hindi sapat na pasado lang ang specs, pasado lang ang ganito, pasado ang design, pasado ang functionality. Dapat useful. Useful siya sa real-world situation ng mga customer. At isa sa biggest contribution ni Huran, no, ni Dr. Huran, is the quality trilogy. At tatlo ito, no, quality planning, quality control, quality improvement. Sa quality planning, dito natin na-identify sino ang customer, ano ang needs nila, no? And then nagde-design tayo, nagpa-plan tayo ng product and services para ma-meet 'yon. Quality control. Mino-monitor natin, mini-measure natin ang performance para ma-ensure natin ang consistency ng quality. Continuous improvement. As I said, para ma-reduce yung defects, ma-improve yung process. And one of the major contributions of Dr. Joseph Huran is related sa cost of poor quality. Ito yung mga cost na nangyayari dahil may mga mali, may rework, may scraps, may complaints, may warranty claims. At para kay Huran, dapat mini-measure natin ito. Mini-make sure natin na makita siya ng management kung gaano kalaki yung impact, gaano ka poor ang quality ng isang negosyo. No, inintroduce niya din yung breakthrough improvement. Hindi lang siya small improvement, kundi major, structured ang changes. No, para magkaroon po tayo ng significant progress sa performance. At ang pinaka-importante na major contribution ni Dr. Huran is sa customer focus in quality planning. At sinasabi niya rito na hindi pwedeng internal laang ang view natin. Sa loob lang ng company, sa loob lang ng manufacturing, no, we need to align it and we need to consider no the customer expectations. As I said, ito yung tatlong trilogy ni Dr. Huran. Number one is we need to have a quality planning or identify the customer's needs. No, as I said, dito nagsisimula ang everything. Yung target practice natin. At ang goal natin dito is to identify the customer's needs bago gumawa ng product. Kailangan nating alamin sino ang gumagamit nito, ano ang kailangan nila. Ito yung exact design. Ito yung exact process. Kasi we are meeting their expectations. Second is quality control. Once na ongoing ang process, kailangan natin ng quality control. Why? We are maintaining the performance. Chine-check natin kung nagkakaroon ng sablay. sa ating mga standards na pinlano. Kung na-maintain ba natin yung quality na ating mga pinlano in the first place. And it's all about monitoring and keeping things steady para walang rejections. Lastly is quality improvement. Hindi pwedeng okay na to. Hindi pwedeng pwede na to. Naghahanap tayo ng paraan to achieve breakthrough. Kasi dito, gagamit na tayo ng data para mas mabilis na yung ating ginagawa. Mas makakatipid na tayo, mas mapapaganda na natin lalo yung ating mga output. And it's a continuous cycle. And as Mr. Huran said, Dr. Huran said, plan it right, control it well, and never stop improving. Yan ang sekreto para hindi tayo magbaback to zero sa everyday work natin. Right? Next, other gurus of total quality management is Dr. Walter Schuhart. Si Dr. Walter Schuhart, siya yung tinawag nating pioneer of the statistical quality control. No, ibig sabihin si Dr. Walter, no, siya yung nag-introduce ng paggamit ng statistics, ng data para makontrol natin at ma-improve natin ang quality sa production. At isa sa pinaka-importanting contribution niya and major contribution niya is statistical process control or the SPC. Kasi ang idea niya dito, imbes na hihintayin niya na magkaroon ng defects bago sila mag-react, minomonitor na agad natin yung process habang ongoing yung process. Dito, gumagamit na tayo ng data. So, ibig sabihin, it is a proactive. Hindi siya reactive. Dito na pumapasok yung control chart. Ito yung graph na may upper at lower control limits. Ginagamit natin ito para makita kung ang process ba ay stable or may out of control na variation. At kapag lumampas na sa control limits, ibig sabihin may special cause na problem na kailangan nating i-investigate. At isa pa sa malaking contribution niya ay ang concept ng process variation. At ang sabi niya rito, hindi lahat ng variation ay masama. No, ano ba yung mga variation na nakita niya at naunawaan niya? Common cause variation, ito yung normal na variation ng system. No, special cause variation, ito naman yung unusual problem na dapat ayusin natin. And we need to remember, no, and one of the most important thing is you need to understand that variation. Kasi kung hindi mo mauunawaan yung different variation, mali yung magiging solusyon mo. And lastly, nag-develop si Schuhart ng cycle. At ang naging foundation niya at ang naging basis niya is si BDCA. Ginamit niya yon, no, to make the foundation. Ito yung ginagamit natin for continuous improvement na cycle, right? And ginagamit ito ng mga company ngayon. Iba't ibang company. They are applying it on the total quality management. Si Schuhart, siya yung nagdala ng statistics sa quality management. Kundi dahil sa kanya, mas naging data-driven na tayo. Nakokontrol na natin, na-improve na natin yung bawat processes. Hindi lang tayo naka-based sa guesses and opinions. We are stating or we have receipts, we have data, we have facts. Okay? And since we are talking about the statistical process control, we need to emphasize it. No? Hihimay-himay natin. Sa in the world of business and production, hindi po doon pwede yung tsamba-tsamba lang or kumbaga hula-hula lang. We are using statistics to monitor processes. Nagamit tayo ng numbers, data, para bantayan ang bawat steps ng ating operations. Hindi tayo basta tumitingin, no? Sinusukat natin yung performance gamit ang mga numbers and data. Second is detects abnormal variety early. No, sa anumang process na ginagawa, no, normal lang na mayroong konting changes. No, at kapag nagkaroon ng abnormal variation or nagkaroon ng kakaibang way or process sa data, makikita agad natin yun. Para siyang early warning systems para bago lumala ang problems. At isa sa pinaka-goal ng statistical process control is to prevent defects before they occur. No, we need to be proactive. Na imbis na magtatapon tayo ng mga palpak na products, aayusin na natin yun. Aayusin na natin yung process para hindi na tayo gagawa ng mga iba't ibang errors. Maiwasan um, yung iba't ibang errors, defects. Okay? That's why we are using the SPC. And hindi lang mga factories, hindi lang manufacturing companies ang gumagamit ng SPC, kundi pati yung mga service industry. No, yung mga bangko, yung ating mga ospital. Kasi you need to remember, class, that prevention is better than cure. Lalo na kay quality management. Okay? And other gurus na malaki ang naiambag kay total quality management is si Dr. Armand Feigenbaum. Siyang utak sa likod ng concept na total quality control. At bago siya dumating, no, akala ng marami, ang quality ay trabaho. Trabaho ng mga engineers, no, trabaho ng mga quality control engineers. Sila ang taga-check sa factory line. Pero naniniwala si Dr. Armand na mali yun. At meron siyang key ideas or key main points na dapat tandaan based sa kanyang ah, ideas. Number one po doon is quality is everyone responsibilities. Hindi lang po ito task ng quality control department. No, quality is everyone's responsibility mula sa CEO, sa presidents, hanggang sa mismong guards and janitors. Lahat sila ay may ambag in terms of quality, product, and services. And naniniwala si Armand na quality applies to all departments. Sa lahat ng departments na meron ng isang company, they need to have quality. Mindset. Okay? Third one is we need to emphasize no, the quality cost. Dito siya sikat sa kanyang hidden plant. No, theory niya to. Kasi maraming nasasayang na pera kapag nag-aayos tayo ng mali. Pag tayo nag inspect. At mas makakatipid tayo, mas makakatipid ang company or ang isang business kung gagawin na natin ng tama sa unang beses pa lang. And naniniwala siya na organizational commitment is very important to quality. Okay? At ang quality ay hindi one-time, big-time project. It should part of the culture, the total commitment, and uh, full participation of the organization. Plus, ang quality is a system-wide approach. Hindi siya by product. Ito'y isang culture and discipline. Okay? And according to him, no, meron tayong tinatawag na quality cost. At isa doon ay yung prevention cost. When you say prevention cost, ito na yung gastos, no, para maiwasan natin yung problem. No, for example, nag-iinvest ang company sa training ng mga empleyado, no, quality planning, no pa, process improvement, documentations. Though it is basically a cost, basically tayo gumagastos tayo dito para hindi magkaroon. Kaya nga prevention eh. Second is appraisal cost. Ito yung gastos o ito yung cost para ma-detect natin yung mga defects. No, kasama na dito yung inspections, testings, audits, quality checking. At dito natin check kung tama yung output natin bago siya makarating kay customer. Third one is failure cost. Okay? Ito yung naka-focus. Ito yung pinaka-expensive. Kasi ito yung naka-focus sa rework, complaints, and warranty. Ibig sabihin, may nangyari na na defects, may nangyari na na problem. Ngayon, may dalawa kasi siyang failure sa cost. Ano, internal failure at external failure. Ang internal failure, ito yung may rework na nangyayari, may delays. No, si external failure, ito na yung mga complaints, warranty claims, returns, no, loss of reputations. Kasi yung product na mali ay nakarating na kay customers. So dalawa yon, internal at external. And one of the most important idea of Dr. Feigenbaum is higher prevention is equals to lower failure cost. Ibig sabihin, kung mas mag invest tayo sa prevention na tamang system, bababa yung failure cost. Magbababa yung complaints, no, yung mga warranty expenses. Mas mura po na ma-prevent natin kaysa ayusin natin. Totoo pala yung prevention is better than cure. And quality has a cost. And quality costs are not just expenses. They show us where to invest para mas maging efficient at mas profitable ang organization in the long run. Okay? Next guru of total quality management is Kaoru Ishikawa. He is known as the father of quality circles. Okay? Sir, ano ba yung quality circles? Ito yung mga small groups of employees na regular na nagmi-meeting. No, pinag-uusapan nila, sinosolve nila yung mga work-related problems. At ang ibig sabihin nito, hindi lang top management ang nag-iisip ng solution, pati ang mga frontline workers, may mga bosses sila. At naniniwala si Kaoru Ishikawa, no, na ang quality ay responsibility ng lahat. At isa sa pinaka-major contribution niya is the fishbone diagram, or tinatawag din niya na cause and effect diagram. Kasi ang itsura ng diagram na to, mukha siya talagang buto ng isda. Okay? At ginagamit ito para ma-identify natin yung root causes ng isang problem. Na imbes na nasa surface level lang siya, or surface level lang yung gagawin nating solusyon, hinahanap na natin kung ano talaga yung root cause ng issue. Possible na tao, possible process, possible machine, possible the raw materials, or possible the environment, or most likely methods of the company. Okay? And in-emphasize din niya yung employees' involvement in quality. At naniniwala siya na kapag empowered ang employees at may proper training, mas consistent at mas mataas ang quality ng output. At syempre, no, na pinromote din niya yung 7 basic tools of quality. Ano ba yung 7 tools of quality? Yun yung merong check sheet, histogram, Pareto chart, control chart, scatter diagram, flow chart, fishbone diagram. No, at ang mga idea niya na ito, no, hindi niya kailangan ng complicated tools para ma-improve ang quality. Naniniwala si Ishikawa in simple tools. As long as tama yung ginagamit, tama yung paggamit, malaki yung impact. No, at pinapakita sa atin ni Ishikawa na ang quality ay teamwork. At kapag lahat ay involved, mas sustainable ang improvement. So kung titingnan ninyo, ito po yung fishbone diagram. At ang purpose niya is to identify the root cause ng isang problem. Hindi lang tayo tumitigil sa symptoms. Hinahanap na natin kung ano talaga yung ugat or yung root ng issue. So sir, bakit siya tinawag na fishbone? Kasi mukha naman talaga siyang buto ng isda. At yung ulo, no, yung head ng isda, yun yung problem. Tapos yung mga buto, yan yung mga possible causes. No, at karaniwan, hinahati natin yung causes into common categories. Yung man, machine, method, materials, measurements, environment, no. Yan kasi yung main common categories na possible root cause ng problema na yun or ng effect. Kaysa man, ito naman yung sa tao, sa skill, sa training, sa human error, sa machine naman yung equipment, yung tools, yung technology, no, yung method, it is the process, the procedure, no, the workflow. Materials naman, ito naman yung raw materials, quality of supplies, measurements, data accuracy, no, inspection system, environment, since it is workplace conditions, temperature, noise, culture. Okay? So at ang kagandahan kasi ni fishbone diagram, no, tinutulungan ang mga tao or tinutulungan ng isang company na isipin systematically kung ano yung root cause. Kumbaga hindi tayo nanghuhula kung sino ang problema. We have step by step na isa-isahin natin ang bawat category para mahanap natin ang root cause. And you need to really understand kung gusto nating ma-solve ang isang problem permanently, kailangan nating hanapin ang ugat or yung root cause. Hindi lang natin dapat putulin ang proseso. 'Di ba? Kapag tayo ay nagpuputol ng puno, no, kapag pinutol natin ang sanga, tutubo at tutubo pa rin 'yan. Pero kapag ang tinanggal natin ay yung mismong ugat, no, nawawala yung problem, namamatay yung puno. At diyan pumapasok si fishbone diagram. No? At si fishbone diagram, kinoconsider siya as effective quality tool. Okay? Other than Mr. Kaori Ishikawa, meron pa din po tayong guru and quality management, siya si Taguchi Genichi. No? Siya naman ay nakafocus in terms of design stage. I mean, nasa designing stage pa lang or phase pa lang, no, may quality na yung product. At naniniwala siya na ang quality ay hindi lamang chine-check after production. Okay? Hindi lang chine-check after production. Dapat, dinidesign na agad siya. Dinidesign agad yung quality from the start. At isa sa pinaka-famous contribution of Taguchi is Taguchi loss function. Ibig sabihin, itong contribution na ito, no, kahit pasok sa specification specification limits yung isang product. Kung nade-deviate naman siya sa target value, may loss pa din. May loss na. Kumbaga, hindi lang siya pass or fail ang quality. Kahit maliit ang deviation, may cost pa rin po yan. Okay? At maaring magkaroon ng dissatisfaction ng mga customers, performance issue, no, long-term damage, no, at madami pang iba. At other contribution or major contribution of Taguchi is the robust design. Ibig sabihin, magdi-design na tayo ng product na hindi madaling maapektuhan ang variation. No, ibig sabihin, yung mga iba't ibang changes, no, changes sa environment, changes sa way of paggamit ng product, minor process differences, at ang goal natin is consistent performance kahit may uncontrollable factors. Okay? Meron din siyang 8-point quality approach. No? Nagbibigay siya ng structure guidelines para ma-integrate natin yung quality sa design. No? Siyempre, at sa development din ng process. At isa sa pinaka-unique mindset ni Taguchi is quality deviation create loss even within limits. So, hindi sapat na within tolerance lang. Dapat as close as possible yung target value para ma-minimize natin ang loss natin sa society at sa customers. Okay? Si Taguchi kasi, siya yung nagpapaalala sa atin na ang quality ay nagsisimula sa design phase. Kung tama ang design, mas kokonti ang problema, mas kokonti ang productions. Mas kokonti ang problema, no, mas efficient ang production. Mas mababa ang cost, mas satisfied ang customer. At kung makikita po ninyo, no, ito po yung Taguchi loss function. No, at meron tayong picture dyan ng oranges. Okay? And one of the important concept of quality engineering by Taguchi is the loss function. Kung titingnan ninyo yung picture ng orange, no, day 1, day 3, day 5, day 7, day 9. Ang target value natin is day 5. Kasi yun yung perfect state na kung saan ang customer ay most satisfied. Pero pansinin niyo yung curve. There has any deviation from target equals loss. Sinasabi ni Dr. Genichi Taguchi na kapag lumayo kayo sa target, kahit nasa loob kayo ng, let's say sabihin na natin, nasa acceptable range, no, possible nagsisimula na tayo mawala ng pera or ng value. Halimbawa, day 3 or day 7. No, pwede nang kainin yung mga orange. Pwede pang kainin yung mga orange. Pero hindi na siya kasing sarap ng day 5. Nagigets ba? Yung day 3 pwedeng kainin pero medyo maasim pa. Day 7, super tamis na, medyo layot na. Though pwede pa siyang kainin pero hindi na siya pasok dun sa standard natin. And it's a loss. Okay? Loss affects company and society. Ang loss kasi ay hindi lang siya basta tapon ng product. Kasama na dito yung dissatisfaction ng customer, warranty cost, no, at pagkasira ng reputation ng company. At in-emphasize niya dito yung precision and consistency. Hindi dapat na pwede na, okay na to, pasok naman siya sa limit. At ang goal kasi natin dito ay consistency. Dapat bullseye, dapat nasa tamang target tayo. Design quality matters more than inspections. Dapat nasa design stage pa lang, sinisigurado mo na or minemake sure mo na yung ganda at quality ng product mo and services. no? Kaysa iisa lang, ano, ng check natin, ng pag-check natin, pag-inspections natin. Kaya kailangan nyo tandaan that quality is not just hitting the specs. It's about hitting the target. Okay? Other than Mr. Taguchi, other gurus is Mr. Shigeo Shingo. No? Si Shingo, isa siya sa expert sa lean manufacturing. Malaki yung contribution niya, no, if you are familiar with Toyota production system, kasi ang main goal niya is to eliminate waste and defects. At para sa kanya, hindi sapat ang detect ng error. Dapat i-design ang system nang hindi nangyayari. Kumbaga, dinidesign na natin yung system hanggat hindi pa rin nangyayari yung mga ganitong consequences. At isa sa pinaka-famous na major concept na inambag ni Shingo is the Pokayoke or the error proofing. Ito yung pag-design natin ng mga tools or process na automatic na may iwasan ang kahit anong mistakes or pagkakamali. Halimbawa, no, yung ating USB or yung flash drive natin, yung Universal Serial Bus natin. No, may mga tamang orientation para pwede siyang ipasok, 'di ba? Pag inilalagay natin sa laptop, may tamang orientation. Meron din namang mga machines na hindi gagana kapag mali yung setup. 'Di ba? May mga ganon. At ang idea na dito, we need to prevent human error bago pa ito mag-cause ng defects. Okay? Other than Pokayoke or error proofing, one of the major concept of Shingo is just in time or the JIT or JIT. Ibig sabihin, no, gumagawa or kumbaga magdi-deliver ng product kung kailangan ito o kung kailan ito kailangan or kung gaano lang karami ang kailangan. Just in time. So for example, kailangan ko na 5 ganitong product or di 5 lang ay bibigay mo. 5 lang ang gagawin mo. Hindi sobra, hindi kulang. At nakakatulong ito para mabawasan yung inventory cost at waste. Okay? And meron din siyang zero control quality. Medyo misleading siya, no, na zero quality control. Misleading yung parang word na ginamit niya. Pero ang ibig sabihin nito, hindi ka dapat aasa lang sa inspection para sa quality. Instead, gagamit ka na ng error proofing at source inspection para siguraduhin na walang defect yung inyong next process. So in summary, si Shingo ay nakafocus sa prevention, efficiency at sa waste reduction. At ang mindset niya ay gumawa ng system na halos imposibleng magkamali para mas mabilis, mas mura at mas mataas ang quality. Okay? So kung makikita ninyo, ito po yung Pokayoke, GIT, that improves efficiency and reduced waste. As I said, si Pokayoke no, means preventing mistakes before they occur. Hindi tayo naghihintay no, na may mali bago natin ayusin. Instead, nagde-design na tayo ng process na gagamitin natin para hindi magkamali ang mga tao. For example, forms. No, forms na hindi na pwedeng isubmit kapag may mga blank na required field or let's say machine na hindi aandar kapag mali ang placement ng parts. Ang goal kasi natin is to eliminate the human error at ang source. Yun po yung Pokayuke. And in terms of JIT or just in time, meaning produce only what is needed or when it is needed. Walang overproduction, walang excess inventory. Kung 100 units lang ang demand natin today, 100 lang ang gagawin, hindi 200. na just in case na magkulang. Bakit? Kasi kapag sobra ang waste, dagdag ang storage cost, dagdag ang risk damage, ang tied up capital. At kapag pinagsama-sama mo ang Poka-Yoke at GIT, ang result is mas magiging efficient ang process, mas kakaunti ang defects, mas mababa ang waste, mas mabilis ang workflow. So class, tandaan ninyo, the goal is not just to work harder, but to design smarter systems. Systems that prevent errors and produce exactly what the customers needs. No more, no less. Okay? And other than Shingo, meron din tayong another guru is si Mr. Masaki Imai. Kilala siya bilang father of Kaizen. At ang Kaizen ay isang Japanese philosophy na ang ibig sabihin ay continuous improvement. Hindi ito biglaan or radical change. Para kay Imai, ang improvement ay ginagawa araw-araw, kahit maliit. And his philosophy is, small changes lead to big result. Hindi mo kailangan ng malaking budget or dramatic transformation. Minsan, simpleng pag-aayos ng workflow, pag-reduce ng unnecessary steps, no, pag-improve ng communication, pagkakaroon ng consistency sa ginagawa, no, malaki na pong impact yan in the long term. At isa sa importante in terms of Kaizen is everyone participates in improvement. Hindi lang po managers, hindi lang po supervisors, ang may responsibility. Kahit yung mga frontline employees, may mga role sila sa pag-suggest at pag-implement ng mga improvements. Kasi sila ang mas nakakaalam ng daily problems ng process. At ang focus natin dito is long-term success, hindi short-term gains. Ang mindset natin is sustainability. Paano magiging better ang organization every single day? So class, you need to remember that ang Kaizen ni Masaki Imai ay hindi tungkol sa revolution. Ito ay tungkol sa consistency. Small improvements na kapag pinagsama-sama natin yon over time, nagiging malaking competitive advantage natin sa organization. Okay? So as I said, this is the Kaizen improvements, no? And it never stops. So, kung makikita ninyo, this is a Kaizen cycle. From the Japanese word Kaizen, which means change for the better. Ito yung mindset na ang improvement natin ay hindi one-time big deal, kundi isa siyang endless loop. As you can see sa diagram, it has a 7 key steps. Number one is we need to identify and analyze. No, una, kailangan nating hanapin yung pain points, yung problem, yung current process natin. No, at bakit siya mabagal, bakit lagi may error, and we need to analyze it. No, based on the data that we gather para malaman natin yung root cause. Second is develop and implement. Dito tayo magbe-brainstorming. Ano yung ideal solution? Hindi kailangan ng perfect agad. Ano, ang importante, may apply natin siya, may implement natin siya para makita natin yung actual effect sa real world. Third one is adjust and standardize. After the implementation, hindi tayo hihinto. Ano, we adjust based on the result. Kung gumana, we standardize it. Ibig sabihin, gagawin natin siyang bagong rule or standard procedure para hindi na tayo babalik no sa lumang standard. And lastly, repeat. We need to repeat. Once na na-solve natin ang isang issue, we look for the next one. At ang goal natin dito is not perfection overnight, kundi 1% improvement every day. At lagi niyong tatandaan that Kaizen improvement never stops. Kahit sa tingin nyo na okay na yung isang process, there's always a way to make it better, faster, and easier. Okay? So let's have a recap of the guru's contribution. No, kay Demings, no, ang major contribution niya is systems, PDCA, and leadership. Okay? Next is si Crosby. Siya naman yung naniniwala siya sa zero defects prevention. Now, si Huran naman, siya ay nakafocus on the quality trilogy and customer focus. Si Schuhart naman is more on numbers, statistical control. Next is si Feigenbaum, na naniniwala siya na quality is everyone's job. Si Ishikawa naman, no, ito yung merong fishbone diagram, quality circles, root cause analysis. Okay, si Taguchi naman, nakafocus siya sa robust designing, and si Shingo, nakafocus siya sa lean error and proofing. Si Imay naman, continuous improvement. At ang goal nilang lahat is continuous improvement. No, kahit iba't iba sila ng philosophy, no, iba't iba sila ng way ng pagkakaroon ng improvement, they have one goal. Ito ay continuous improvement. Okay? And class, tandaan ninyo, quality is not accidental. It is intentional. Ibig sabihin, hindi nangyayari ang quality dahil sinuwerte lang tayo, no? Hindi siya by chance. Hindi rin siya dahil sa magaling ka, magaling lang yung isang tao. Ang quality kasi ay result. Result yan ng maayos na system, tamang mindset at malinaw na standard. And also consistency sa effort. At lahat ng quality gurus na diniscuss natin kanina, from prevention, from zero defects, statistical control, ano, Kaizen, hanggang error proofing, iisa lang ang message nila. Kailangan planado ang quality, kailangan design pa lang, iniisip nyo na yung quality, at ang kailangan natin is committed ang buong organization. Kung walang intention to improve, automatically bababa ang quality. Pero kung ikaw ay intentional sa planning pa lang, sa training pa lang, sa monitoring pa lang, sa continuous improvement pa lang, na susunod yan or kaduksong na yan ang high performance. So class, tandaan ninyo, hindi lang negosyo, kundi sa personal life, dapat merong quality. If you want quality result, you must make quality decision. Quality decision on purpose every single day. And I hope you enjoy our discussion. Thank you for listening. And next, we are going to discuss Kaizen. Thank you and goodbye.